Hi, and we're going to tackle the Avio nomenclature and diagram. It's important to know Avio because we need to know what talks to what in order that we could be better troubleshooters to the extent we have a problem. So, we're going to draw out some of our basic components, starting with our start switches and our autopilot control panel. And from there, we'll look at our individual displays, which will be our left PFD, our MFD, and our right PFD. These are our pilot displays, and this is also where the pilot interfaces with the ACS and gives commands. If you think about this just as a basic computer system, you have redundant autopilot you've got redundant aircraft computer systems, each tied to a left or a right PFD. The ACS and the PFD communicate back and forth and transmits commands, as do the ACSs talk to one another as well. So, when the pilot actuates a command on either the MFD or the PFD, then it sends a command signal to the ACS, which activates or actuates a script within its computer programming. But it's scary to know that this is in a Microsoft operating system. All right, so below each ACS we have a subsystem, and then in between each ACS we have a shared subsystem. So either the left or the right ACS can command the shared subsystems, but only the right ACS can command the right subsystems, and similarly the left ACS can command the left subsystems. We have the center switch panel. This is a very important component on the aircraft. Many things are tied to the center switch panel. Some people analogize it to a modem. Okay, so we have keyboards, we have sticks, we have center consoles, autopilot control panel starts. All these things go through the center switch panel and communicate through the PFDs to the ACSs on the respective sides, command and control actions, and also receive information back from the ACSs so they can be displayed properly and give the pilot an idea what's going on. So here's our center switch panel with our two thrust levers and our flaps and rudder trim. Now notice that the start does not connect to the communication bus between the MFD and the PFD. However, the autopilot control panel, as you can see on the left-hand side between the PFD and the MFD, does indeed connect to the MFD, so it does not actually go through the center switch panel, whereas, for example, the start does. All right, I've just drawn the ISNS, which stands for Integrated Sensor Suite. All right, you can see that Integrated Sensor Suite talks to FADEC. In addition, what's contained within the ISS? All right, it's contained within the ISS is, on early models, the GPS, the ADC, and the AHARS. So basically, it's our air data information. All right, the throttles, as you can see from my drawing, show that they communicate directly with FADEC. They do not go through the center switch panel. What are the 5 functional areas of Avio? Well, number 1, we've got redundant autopilot aircraft computer systems. Number 2, we have pilot displays. Number 3, we have pilot controls such as flaps or rudder trim, or the line select keys on the PFDs and the MFDs. Number 4, primary sensors. That would be the ISS. Okay. And number 5, we've got aircraft subsystems. So the shared and each individual right and left subsystems below each individual aircraft computer system. So here's a question. What happens if I lose my center switch panel? What else do I lose? I'm going to get a myriad of CAS messages, of course. All right, how about throttles? Do I lose throttles? Negative. They go directly to FADEC. Do I lose a stick? Everything except the push to talk. Very important. That's a test question. Alright. Yep. I'm going to lose my flap handle and my trim. Indeed. I'm going to lose my keyboards because they go through the center switch panel, and if it's not working, it's not communicating anything to the MFD, PFD, or ACS. Alright, am I going to lose my start? Yes, indeed. I'm going to lose my flaps, my stick, my keyboard, my gear handle on the CSP is not going to work. So that means we'll be putting the gear down manually. Very important component of this Avio system is the center switch panel. Alright, what about shared subsystems? Well, these are the important items. Alright, so think of some important stuff you don't want to be without. Gear, fuel, pressurization, and on like that. So those are the types of things that are below the subsystems. I don't expect you to memorize or know exactly what's below shared or left or right subsystems. But I do expect you to know that if I lose a left ACS, then I'm going to be able to still control shared systems. Alright, so if I lose a center switch panel, the autopilot control panel will still communicate through the PFD to the ACSs. Alright, this is a good thing. As you can see, it's connected. Alright. So thank you for joining us.